我的截取画面为什么画质怪怪的？忘记了，刚刚把声音关掉。想说怎么没声音？一下，奇怪，这个截取画面是我的问题，还是它的画质真的怪怪的、啊？我看看，为什么看起来那么糊？What's happened to 截取画面？对啊，1280乘720啊，很奇怪呢，为什么我看起来那个画质这么诡异？发生什么事？奇怪呢。Alone with you. This can save at certain points automatically. If you see this indicator, please don't turn off your system. 声音超大，游戏声音好像有点大声。等一下，我要怎么调游戏声音？我觉得游戏声音有点大、啊。画面有够糊，而且我的手把一直震。Music and sound is designed by Everstein。真的超大声的，不是我要讲。可以操作了啊！超糊的，用电脑荧幕玩这种像素风的游戏，出乎我预料的，真的很糊呢。Return it to Colony A。OK， 这 Colony A。不是啊，有没有设定啊？哦，有 option。哦，美式操作。音乐太大了，大哥啊。有变吗？我怎么觉得还是一样吵？好，先回主画面看看好了。不是啊，我怎么觉得还是一样大声啊，大哥啊 ？Sorry, design and programming by 太快了啦。我再小声一点，我真的受不了，受不了啊！这样有比较好了吗？To the command hallway。干嘛？这是什么异形入侵啊？这是什么 ？To the hollow sim chamber inaccessible。我只能一直往前走就对了。To the main hallway。 Man Hallway Crew， 这东西是 Crew。To the crew's quarters inaccessible， 看起来不像是 crew 啊。AI core ship to the ship hangar inaccessible， 全部不能进，我也只能继续往前了。To the AI core AI 核心 seek mission data with AI core， 啊，回报。画圈，在地上画一个圈，把 AI 关在里面。I'm glad you made it back. I assume you were at your usual lookout over the rift again. You must have seen the worsening situation out there. Did you notice the planet's instability on your way here? I noticed. Then you can appreciate with a pickle we're both in. I wish I had better news, but I feel I owe it to you to be honest. The situation is unfortunately quite dire. This Hudson Cartier terraforming project has failed. 16 years of work has been undone. I apologize for being so direct, but would it shock you to know that, by my estimate, we have less than a month to survive? Your stoicism is understandable. In 3 weeks, if Epsilon Eridani B will cease to exist as it does now. 这句看不太懂。We still have an escape ship here in Colony A. It is structurally sound, and I believe I can help you fly it so we can escape. 好，所以看来我们的目标就是要启动这个救生艇了。If we can transmit an emergency signal to the home office, we can likely intercept a company vessel in our ship and again transport back home. The problem is there are 4 key systems on the escape pod that I can't repair, and you aren't trained to deal with by yourself. But I have an idea. It will require the use of our holosync chamber and a little bit of human connection on your end. You see, there were 4 other colonists who could have saved us if they were still alive. We need Laurier was our communications expert, and she could have helped us repair the navigation system. Periton is the colony director and an engineering genius. He would have been able to assist us with the thrusters. Leslie Farah, 这是英文吗？ ran the agro-domes, and I'm sure she could have helped us maximize the ship's life support and food processing. And Jean Lamomba led the resource management teams. He could have shown us how to best keep the ship powered and stable. 所以我要去找这4个人就对了。You and I can head out to find materials and information, but only these 4 could have guided us in fixing this ship. But if we can use the holosync chamber to recreate these 4 key colleagues, they can still help us in a way. I know it's a long shot and it's going to be a little unusual, but if we work together, I think we can make it. So that's the plan. Before you go to your quarters, though, let's register your name so the holograms know what to call you. Please enter your first name here. You can use a maximum of 12 characters. Let's just keep it simple. 好哦。 诶，我的 first name， 我的 first name 要叫什么？只能打英文啊！不要，就这样了。好 ，R 是 confirm。OK。Okay, you've entered your name as Aniki. Is that correct? Yes, I'm Aniki. Excellent. I'm glad we got that straightened out. For now, just head to your quarters and rest. You'll need it for tomorrow. 叫我去休息。Check in with AI core inaccessible. 我要去哪里休息 ？Crew 吗？怎么全部都 inaccessible？ 大哥啊！好 ，to the crew's quarters。哇，真的有够惨，够脸哦。To your private quarters。耶，我的房间超乱的，完全没有打扫。Rest for a while。房间也太乱了，前面没有什么自由度。Day one， 这游戏不知道有没有限制最大天数。哦，还用那个国际标准时间啊。Good morning. I know you've just woken up, but as we discussed, time is of the essence. How are you functioning today? Are you well? I guess. 哇，我的手把会发声音耶，好酷。That's good. Your task will be easier if you are well rested. Please come see me again in the core at your earliest convenience. I can look at my bed. It's not the most comfortable bed, but it's all we have at the moment. At least with nobody around, you don't need to worry about its appearance. 没有，我其实很在乎。The shelf is full of titles on a variety of topics, including sociality, terraforming, and engineering. I'll never understand why people prefer physical books to their digital counterparts. 好，请跟我讲一些没什么意义的东西。It's the same kind of standard terminal as you'll find around the clone. We can spare the power cycles for its use at this time, I'm afraid. You've left an empty photo frame, a rag, and some non-functioning equipment here. 所以他会跟我解释一些，就等于他是旁白嘛，这个 AI 这么高级，我在我房间里面 AI 都可以跟我对话。Look at note. There's a maintenance note that says at and on it is also say Mr. Yoshida's favorite dog. Yoshida 最喜欢的狗。I'll be honest with you, I have no idea what that means. Yoshida， 那还不就还好，我叫阿尼基，马上就出现一个日本人的名字。Just head north to the court and we can discuss your mission for the day. 所以他会给我安排任务就对了。目前我还不知道这个游戏的那个游戏方式是什么。Okay, Aniki. Last night I scanned what's left of the colonies in hopes of finding materials we can salvage. I think I found a few good leads. I think it would be best if you first go to the comms relay and find 5 communication devices we can use for the escape ship. The comms relay is where Winnie Laurier was last known to be. Hopefully you can find out some more information on her on your trip as well. When you are ready, you can go south to the shuttle bay and plot a course here. A course there. 好， 还是不让我进去，可恶！出发，我们要去寻找5个零件，然后顺便找刚刚那个第一个幸存者，也不能算幸存者，就是帮助者的讯息。Currently inaccessible。好，所以到这边嘛 ，To the comms relay station, Winnie。好吧，就照着走吧。这排档杆也太粗了吧！ Hello， 所以我是不是可以冲下去那个山谷啊？其实，照他刚刚的对话来看 ，It's probably been a long time since you've been to the comms relay. I don't believe you had occasion to come here often, if at all. 这 AI 怎么跟我对话的？还有远程，我们有 WiFi 是不是 ？When the other colonists separated, this was considered a prime location. But only one person really had the expertise to make good use of it. Remember, you're looking for components we can use to power the escape ship's communications. 5 good parts should do it. 好，所以我们要找5个可以用的零件。5 good parts， 里面不会有怪吧？ Oh boy, even from here I can sense how damp and musty it is in there. It probably smells to you like an old puddle. 那你可以不要说其实 R 问号问号问号 Failed notebook. This looks like a standard issue failed notebook. Most of the colonists use this as well as database. The notebooks were expensive and easy to transport, and studies revealed that humans enjoyed physically writing on paper. That seems rather inefficient, but I suppose tactility is important in forming emotionally impactful memories. 一定要这么多，这也不能学术名词啊，就是Speaking of which, this looks like, well, it looked like the beginnings of some sort of fiction. That's interesting. It reads the last interview with Paula Mann. Paula had suffered a long and arduous struggle against the dark, and now, in her final moment with it, she relented to its question. They are the only pages included with this notebook. If we want to read the rest, we'll have to find the other pages. 什么年代了，还在这样子一页一页分开啊？神经病！Server run 锁起来了。The door appears to be locked by some kind of security system. 所以这个就没了嘛。好，坐电梯。This elevator goes up from here. Do you want to go up? 还可以按问号 ，No， 好吧，也没得选。How are you doing so far? Do you need any help? No. You're very resourceful, Aniki. Because I'm Aniki. If you need a reminder about what you're doing while you're in one of the facilities, just press L2 and I will help. L2 是教学，对不对？电梯还要这样分开。好啦，虽然我能够理解这是为了游戏本身的进行。它这个是什么 ？To Tower Bridge exists。好，先出去看看吧。让我看看 Tower Bridge。又有一个笔记可以看。It's a small pile of physical books. All colonists were issued datapads with e-reading ability. But I suppose that wasn't to everyone's liking. There are assorted philosophy titles from old human writers. You can see a very neat note written in the margins. The first page has a monogram on it. W. 刚有 M， 现在有 W。Collection book. 物理的书，这个是什么 哦，超级鉴定装置真好。It's a series of torn pages, likely from that notebook. On the first floor, it looks like the story starts here. The dark. Why struggle? You know I've been here. I've been waiting all this time. Why didn't you give up? Paula. It's not in my nature just to give up. The dark. Really? I'm not so sure about that for a long time. Even amongst your peers, you gave up. Or at least you seem to withdraw from them. Isn't that like giving up? I don't think so. That's interesting, because they did. The further you isolated yourself, the less they felt like reaching out. Didn't you notice that? Didn't you notice that? Yes, I noticed it. I assume there's more. 不对，回来，不好意思。I assume there's more. Maybe you'll find more pages on the press on. It's interesting thought, isn't it? Sure is. 他的回答都从我手把里面发出来。I thought so. Hopefully we'll get to read the rest of the story. We should continue. 其实也是蛮闲的，边走边看一下日记。这个是什么 ？R2 is an open relay conduit. It looks like someone had repaired this terminal more than once in an attempt to continue transmissions. There's some clever work here. Your scan will help me configure the ship's communications parts to be more redundant and feel safe. Now we only need 4 more communication parts from this area. 这样就算找到了一个，是不是？好，然后这边这个有人修过它，不知道是谁。The locked to locker room. 去楼上。3楼。The system administrators. 我到控制室了。床。That's a standard issue bedroll. They're made of highly dense microfibers, so they're very lightweight and yet warm. This looks like someone has been using it as a habitat of sorts. Very curious. 有人住在这儿，漏水超严重，哭哭。There's a heart of old Earth technology on that dusty shelf. Amazingly, several of the PCs are still functioning. Someone must have collected these old computers, sound systems, and radios. Your scan will help me to fabricate something inventive for the ship, I'm sure. Now we only need 3 more communication parts from this area. 这么简单，随便拆都可以啊。What's this? 一根棒棒。It's a portable safety light. They use sophisticated LEDs and can last for over a year each. 原来是 LED 棒。The lamp looks like part of a little setup, including a bedroll. Someone must have been sleeping here. Please keep me informed of any other interesting details you found. OK， 看来这个是笔记了。不对，这只是书。You found a hefty stack of books there. Their ones are mostly adventure stories. You humans do seem to love this kind of fantastic tales. 因为我们还是人类就对了，我是想说我们这个扮演的角色到底算是什么 ？The owner really did prefer physical reading. I see. They surely had access to digital versions of all of this. In fact, there was an entire database. As with other books, this bear with W monogram. 又一个 W。是这样，我要把这些英文字母记起来。What?
Those special foil wrappers were used for food and snacks, but of course you already know that.
食物包装。
You know, it took over 10 Earth years of R&D to develop food that could travel such distance and still be palatable. Because of the efficiency with which Hudson Cartier transported cloning deployments, a lot of food could be included. Previous colonial missions were less successful because of the inefficient cargo and the food stores. Of course, until the agro domes were built, you all had to subsist on just these various portable stores.
太多专有名词啦。
Security panel. It's a standard security panel as nothing. What locked the other doors in this part of the relay? Are you going to turn off the security locks?
Of course， 通通给我开起来，开啦！那我是不是就可以去刚刚没有去到的地方？来喽！3楼就顶楼了。看的，这两个是一样的，是不是？通的。
There are certainly fewer components in that tower than you might think. I don't believe the drones finished keeping it as well as the others. As the construction of the colony's prefab elements continued, resource allocation estimate often became scarce. Too bad, really.
不管。又找到那个笔记了。继续刚刚的故事。
So, what made you change your mind? You're here, talking to me now. You wouldn't have entertained that before. What changed? Well, this is the end, isn't it? There's no one else out there, so I'm talking to you. You know that's not true. There are still others out there. You can hear them on your radio. But they don't know that. They don't know I made a new radio. No, of course not. That's what makes you so interesting. You is raw, but in your way, you still reach out. You just don't want anyone to discover that. Paula falls silent for a moment. This story sounds like it's getting serious. I'm curious. Who are you siding with right now, Paula or the dog?
Neither.
Maybe you're right. We should see how this story plays out first. For now, let's move on.
所以不喜欢乱下结论的人。
继续搜，搜宝宝。虾米拢无，虾米拢唔惊。
看来只有这里了，8成又是一个零件。
It's a remote service panel for running diagnostic and checking alerts. It's been jury reached through a low non-standard signal. This work is unconventional, but I can use this to boost the signal in the escape ship's distress backup. Now we only need 2 more communication parts from this area.
这个跟我想象中的其实不太一样，就是比我想象中的还要没有挑战性，就单纯的看剧情。目前看起来是这样的。
That appears to be a heat absorbing synthetic blanket. It looks like it will run up on that conduit. What do you think it was used for? A towel? I suppose that would make sense. So standard issue blankets are quick drying after all.
阿斋，地上有水，大概是吧。
A stack of pocket-sized physical books, I see. Looks like they're mostly guided to social interaction and workplace issues. I suppose whoever owned these books was, as you say, boning up. Is that what you're saying? You got me? Perhaps we can both work on our slang together then. In any case, the owner of these books seems to be studying social skill. 还是社交障碍？哎，我可以睡是不是？啊不能，他只是说他这个是被用过，我想说我可以睡。It looks like this portable terminal still has a tiny bit of battery life left. This model was known for being quite lasting. I can use your scan of its components as a guide for making this escape ship communications equipment more efficiency. Now we only need one more communication part from this area. 奇怪啊，你是怎么知道这边有什么东西，然后跟我说只要5个？莫名其妙，完全都莫名其妙。好，去1楼。啊，我的故事还没看完呢。server 论，到处睡。有了，这边有故事可以看了。It looks like a further set of pages from the failed notebook on the first floor. The story continues. So, who do you listen to most? The gardener woman, the drum leader, the self-appointed director, the William. Sometimes he's still broadcasting in the old colony. He sent me a little message, actually. And why here? Why William? He was so important here. He kept things working. He kept things repaired. It was essential. And nobody really gave him the respect he deserved. So what? Do you think you can relate to him? I don't know. Of all of that, I think I just understood him the best. When he stopped communicating, it felt like the end of the world. Well, when you think of it, it might be. You said it yourself. Paula gives the dog a call downstairs, the sourest she can muster. There's no point in arguing the inevitable. That seems to be the end of the story for now. I wonder if William is in reference to Mr. William King, who was the maintenance chef in Colony B. 看完了还是不知道他到底想表达什么，难过的是。You've scanned a still functioning terminal that is apparently hooked up to the tower's mainframe. I bet you that room is warm. The mainframe is unfortunately damaged, but the terminal you scanned can still help us. Good work. Well, you'll find all the components I need for now. When you're finished there, you can use the shuttle to return home. 我为什么一直抖？我人为什么一直抖？Why are you dull? You really dull. 好，这样就说完了。The comms relay appears to be in worse shape than I expected, but good work. It looks like you find that what we needed for today. Go ahead and use the shuttle to come back home. 好哦，好哦。回家，总共5个点，所以我其实就是去5个点把剧情全部看完而已吗？我以为这是那种荒野求生类型的，我可以就是种菜啊，然后做工具啊，我好像真的可以冲下去耶，好好奇哦。略好奇的。Excellent, you're right. 哦，剧情讲的，We see me in the 挡到了啦，Core immediately so we can process your findings。哦，OK OK OK，Go Go，反正你也都不让我进去其他地方，坏坏，还是不让我进去，inaccessible。哦，Okay, I've seen the data you scanned and collected today out there. Thank you for bringing this to me. I have good news as well. I've got the Holocene chamber up and running. The constructs of the four colonists are already loaded. They're already working on helping you, but due to the currently limited availability of power and processing cycles, the chambers are a little shaky. You can retire to your quarters. When I've got the Holocene stable enough for you to enter, I'll call for you. 好，所以他们会帮我了。我其实不太很明白这个状况。反正不管怎样，他好像是要叫我休息。又滚喽！又滚喽！滚啊滚忙滚，卖命忙。Anigi! Anigi! Can you hear me? I'm sorry to wake you, but I need to show you something. 等下有异形出来了，是不是？ I was able to make the final adjustment, and I got the Holocene chamber nice and stable for you. I think it's best if you meet one of the others as soon as possible. So could you please go to the chamber in the south hall? 好哦好哦，半夜把我叫起来，你最好是要给我看什么好东西。Just head south to the Holocene chamber and we can begin. I'll begin. 你这样讲会让我很想要去其他地方呢。我要去 AI 论啊，又不让我 access。好的 ，Thank you for coming. The chamber will only work at night. When other systems are powered down, it's a limitation of our current situation, I'm afraid. This also means that I'll be in low-powered mode too, so you'll be on your own there. I won't be able to see or hear what happens. So the time you get in the chamber will be strictly between you and whoever you are seeing that day. In the morning, the holograms will sync their data and ideas with me. Tonight we'll be meeting Winnie Laurier for the first time. Since the comms relay is her domain, it makes sense that you visit with her. Remember these holographic creations. They're based on data backup I kept for each key member of the clan. They are, in effect, the very same people. However, after the Rift event broke off, communication with other parts of the facility, and I lost track to these people. I was no longer able to keep them up to date. These constructs won't remember anything past a certain point. They might be a little touchy about that, so please do be careful. Uh-huh. Anyway, when you're ready, just enter the chamber and use the control station within. When you're finished, you can return to your quarters. I'll speak to you again in the morning. Good luck in there. See you. Yes, indeed. Let's hope that these visits prove fruitful. We are in quite the situation. 好 ，Begin Holocene Program。总觉得这里面藏了很多伏笔啊，各种伏笔。Oh, hi there. Don't mind me, I just need to finish these calculations. I'll be done in a moment. The AI told me about your trip today. Did you find those items you need?
手插你们。
Yes. That's good. I'm sure the AI will be able to help you get what you need in the end. Anyway, I think I'm done here for now. I guess let's just have a seat on the sofa. I could use a break. Oh. The AI has us all working quite a bit. We can simulate pretty much whatever we need in here to figure out how to best help you. Whatever you scan out there, the AI can give to each of us in here so we can keep working. It's a pretty smart setup, really. I chose to make my work environment this room. It's how I remember my old apartment back on Earth. Is that weird?
Not at all.
Thank you for saying so. It's not the most particle choice, but having all my old books here and this old sofa, it feels like home. Anyway, the AI must certainly be keeping you busy as well, so I'm glad you're here. And since you're, well, what would you like to talk about? Sheep's cons. Peak.
先跟他打好关系试试看。You pick.
Oh, well, as you can probably tell, I'm not great at small talk, but okay, let's see. How about books? Do you read much? Borage,
诚实回答。
I see, I don't want to bore you, but I definitely read a lot. Most of the other colonists were once as into books as I was. I really like adventure stories, big, complicated ones. I suppose it helped deals with the relative closeness of living in a colony. I could imagine I was anywhere, and the Hudson Cartier manual said that escape was important for thriving in a remote colony. I suppose that's partly why we were equipped with this frozen chamber. It wasn't standard issue, but so the higher ups must have felt it was important. There were programs that we all brought with us. I don't know much about that. What the other people did in there, maybe some took exotic vacations. William, I mean maintenance chef King. I think he had some version of his wife in there. She didn't come with him, she stayed on Earth. She never said anything about it, but I could tell it's got to him. I mean, as did to all of us, but most of us were well alone. Normally, Hudson Cartier wouldn't allow colonists to be separated from their loved ones. They came as a package, or they didn't go at all, kept stressed on, they said. But William, well, he was a bit older and the best candidate for the job. I suppose HC knew how important it was to the mission. Then I wondered what his wife is doing. If she's still alive back on Earth, I wonder if she knows, what happened to us. Do you want to talk about anything else? The colony. We had as much a chance as anyone else thought making it work. In the end, I don't think I could quite believe it was going to fail. We all arrived here when? 2048? What years is it now?
2048 2064 16年。
Wow, so 16 years, so much has happened. and there was so much needless loss. But, but by the time we all arrived here in 2048, the remote cloning building system had all the basics ready. Most people were pretty excited to get started, but I had a harder time adjusting. Space travel will do that to some people. At least that's what the head psychologist, Miss Barnchart, told me. Something about how close everybody is, you know. It was easy to feel trapped. We trained for all that, of course, but the real thing is different.
感觉没有什么重要讯息啊。
Well, as I'm sure the AI explained, my job is to help you get the accept ship's communication systems repaired so you don't blaze off into space with your voice. Even if everything else is functioning, you wouldn't want to be out there with no way to contact anyone. I think I'd rather be at risk than not have a working radio. But I think the AI's plan is sound. If you can contact someone from the ship land, you can hopefully arrange a pickup. Kind of like normally a ride back on Earth, I guess. I never did that. Now that I think of it, I definitely was afraid to try it. Anyway, sorry, I'm talking too much. I don't think I ever talked this much before, but I was alive. I wonder why that is.
他只是把他们生前的一些影像调出来。
Anyway, so you were in a comms relay today, huh? What was it like out there? Show pages 是什么 You what? Oh, you find a notebook, didn't you? With a story in it? Oh no, that's embarrassing.
这是他写的，是不是？
Yeah, that notebook was mine. I was writing stories to pass the time and to deal with things. I always wanted to write a book, but I never did. I guess I figured it was my only chance to try. I know it wasn't very good. I guess I was trying to put my thoughts and my feelings into some kind of relatable way, but that was probably pretty obvious. It's funny though that now that I think of it, I don't know how that story ends. I can't remember everything I wrote. But what did you think of? What did you read? I mean, did you read it? It was good. Really? Well, thanks. I appreciate what you're saying. So that means a lot.
总之就是赞美他。It was that.
This was empty.
先学第一个单位怎么样
The accident. Rain must really be warming it down then. That was one factor that we couldn't properly account for.
这样就没了啊！所以我应该选第二个。
Wasn't Carter knew of the weather systems on the planet, of course. Ed had a decade's worth of survey data with which to plan for this project, but I guess a decade only tells you so much. The system changed, and the accident rain became much worse and much more frequent.
酸雨啊！
I'd be surprised if any of the structures there didn't suffer damage. In Brownie B, we had it the worst. Things eroded so fast. The comms relay seemed relatively intact, but even so, it was hard to keep the equipment working. I can still feel the chill of that place somehow. Maybe it's a good thing you have that scar.
Do you want it?
The stylish is more.
It's warm.
I'm sure it is. It probably protects against the rain and the silica as the wind tends to blow up. What else did you think about the command?
还可以选，刚刚那个是在同一个选项里面的对话。
There are 5 towers in the relay. You must have been in Tower A. It never was complete. The relay was designed to be redundant, so not everything is in one place, and there are always backup of critical systems. I was the one who designed it, or consulted on the key components. Back on Earth, but no, not everything was built so to spec. I remember there were some issues with some of the drones. He lost some capability, so we had to think on our feet. That's why Tower A is only half-finished. It seems like almost nothing went the way it was supposed to. It's so awful to think about all those people. I know. You have the words, though, to be the last I can ever even bear to think about it.
所以我们已经是最后生还者了。
So, this kind of sounds selfish, but as I'm working here, I keep thinking about the fact that I'm here, and yet, well, I'm not. I feel I can see you, obviously, and it all seems real, but I'm not here, am I? I'm not really around anymore. So obviously something happened to me, the real me, but I can only remember so far back. I guess the AI's version of me only accounts for so much. It's like a backup, I suppose. The me you see, this is the most recent version, but does it count? Does any of this matter if I'm not even real?
You are to me.
Okay, thanks. It means a lot that you think so, and that you came here to talk to me, not just for work. Look, I don't want to keep you here, considering all you have to worry about. You need to rest, and you still have so much to do. But do you mind to see if you can find out what happened to me? Maybe find some kind of record of what I went through? I promise. Thank you. Maybe we can talk about it some more the next time I see you. Take care for now.
所以我们变成恋爱养成游戏，而且还是跟虚拟对象玩恋爱养成。突然有种空虚感。继续睡，想怎么睡就怎么睡。Day 2，这个画面很有以前那个魂斗罗的 feel 超像魂斗罗的。又是6点，好累啊！看到6点就豆多啊。Good morning, Aniki. I received notice that the Holocene chamber had been successfully accessed. How did it go? Really well. That's wonderful to hear. I hope Mrs. Luria was able to give you some helpful information on preparing the excavation. No, she told me nothing, okay? I received information from Mrs. Luria's constructs this morning, after I returned to a full working state. Whatever happened in there, it appears to have helped her problem solve a bit more effectively with regards to the excavation. I'm already crunching numbers on her ideas. I think this plan of ours is going to really help us out. In any event, you can return to the core when you're ready. I've got some new mission options for
you today. 好，没有什么其他新的玩意儿可以用。没有什么新玩意儿。他都不让我去别的地方。哦。Now that you've been to the comms relay and we have the hollow steam chamber working, I think it's time to branch out a bit. You have few choices. First, we can try to recover planet material at the agrodomes. We need to start equipping the escape ship with material for the food processor. Leslie Favara ran the agrodomes, so if you head there today, you can meet her tonight in the hollow steam chamber. Next is what the colonists call the caves. Our energy mining and processing century. The mine is available to visit. We could use more resources for field. Resource Manager Jim Lamumba is responsible for energy production. So if you head there, you will see him tonight in the Holocene chamber. That will cloning be due to recent shift is finally accessible again. Although I'm reluctant to send you there. It's likely in a terrible state, but it might still have parts we can salvage for the escape ship's thrusters. Unfortunately, we have no choice but to check. If you do visit there, you'll get to meet Director Puriton tonight in the Holocene chamber. You might not like what you discover, though discovering more about each colonist is key to our survival. The more you can connect with their constructs, the more help they will be to us. When you're ready, you can head south to the shuttle bay to plot a course to one of the areas. 好，所以我们现在可以自由选择下一个要去的点。可是我不知道会不会有差这个先后顺序不知道会不会影响到后面的剧情发展。这是能源相关，这是食物相关。我觉得先搞能源好了，能源还蛮重要的。真的像那打魂斗，要不然就是那种什么魔界山之类的古早时代的游戏。Though the planet's landscape is hostile, its core is rich with minerals and a special kind of crystal that we can process into fuel. Hudson Cartier did decades of research to understand this crystal and how to exploit it for the energy needs of the colony. I'm not sure why your colleagues chose to call this facility the Caves, but it contains the administration offices and links to the mining operation. After the Rift event, the caves has been offline. I need you to investigate and find if there's anything left to process. 好的，来挖矿，挖矿矿，挖矿矿。这游戏的时速不知道会多长。This administration building is where Mr. Lumumba and his staff work. So far, it seems surprisingly intact. Before we do anything else, let's check out Mr. Lumumba's office. It should be the door to your right. 不要，我不要去右边，不想去。Let's investigate Mr. Lumumba's office first.
好啦，很烦呢，为什么不让我去？我想自由探索，这游戏超级没有自由度的。Let's check out Mr. Lalumba's terminal. Maybe there will be some insert there. Inspect mode. The display doesn't appear to be on. Maybe there's a way to power it back up. 这是什么？哦，又是书架。Row upon row of technical books regarding mining. The shelf is covered in mud and dirt from the damaged ceiling. 没什么东西，没有那么多东西可以读啦。不过我猜到时候一定还会有又有日记什么之类的东西要看，一大堆。来用这个终端。We need access to this terminal, but it appears to need facial recognition to unlock it. The system isn't completely accurate. Maybe there's a way to get around it. 所以东西都不能用。所以我要出去找是不是？我要出去找东西。This is the command center for the mining facility. All the actual mining was done by drones. It's much safer that way. Operations staff manage the drones in the mine from here. They track blasting, sorting, delivery, everything. There isn't much trace of the staff here, though. That's all. I don't have records of an evacuation. 怪怪的。Those big displays show the staff the real-time movement of drones, plus general conditions and other data. Unfortunately, that monitor has been damaged, so it won't be of much use to you. But how? Inspect workstation. 有茶，够下午茶。Let's launch area appears surprisingly opulent. Even almost all the dozen debris, those synthetic leather chairs are not cheap. Modern-day mining operations seem much more comfortable compared to the mines of 100 years ago. 现在采矿还可以喝下午茶，可以坐沙发。It seems to be stuck in some kind of error loop. A warning keeps flashing on the screen. Ventilation failure. 不能用。Take photo of Jin Lamumba. There's a low-power photo frame device on the counter. It's currently flashing a photo of Manager Lamumba, who's smiling. The frame gives it a convincing 3D effect. 看来我们用这个去开电脑。That terminal shows an icon of all the drones that were deployed to the mine. Their status are read offline. 好。超好骗的这个系统。Resource Manager Lalumba's terminal contains of the usual reports and statistics on the mine's operation. There is, however, a voice conversation between Mr. Lalumba and Director Kiri Khan. I will give you the details. Don't you see what's happening out there? I see just fine. I'm handling it. Damn it, Pire. Just admit we were screwed. The Rift event has doomed us doomed us all. 所以看来是这个什么 Rift event 造成了不可挽回的灾难。It's not like that. AF4B and 3B has every distress signal we've got firing back on. We're going to be fine.
Fine, cloning bee is a smoking run. Everyone's blaming you, you know. Our genius leader completed all of his steps. We're going to be fine. We're for this. I'm prepared for this. Those idiots are just freaking out. Because you're not leading them. Because, oh, baby, ow, baby. Jane, what is it? I have to go. Someone is trapped down in the mines. I have to go. Jane, you can't go down there. Don't be an idiot. The audio files caught up there. That's all I can extract from the terminal. 好吧，看来那什么 Perry 是个机车人。机车人。哦，有地图。This monitor shows a real-time overview of what's going on in the mines. The blue indicator is where you are right now. 好，现在在那个蓝区。Those red areas, those indicate humans who shouldn't be in the mines during a creation. They could indicate survivors I couldn't account for. You need to get down there and verify if anyone is still alive. 拯救幸存者。好了，等下不要看。总之就是、往前走就会看到幸存者。What a sight! That room has been completely demolished. You can read down to the mines or take a look at the equipment up here. Look at the equipment. This is the sorting chamber. You can still see some of the special drums attached to the pillars up here. Around to sort the various crystals within the mining aggregate and package them up in safety containers. 不管，反正就是采矿机。采矿机，采。我的聊天室好多机器人。采。没有什么可以做的。I'm reading very dirty air down there. It looks like part of the mine suffered a cave-in. It must be very stifling in there. 这是什么？无故。There are chips and circuits from one of the excavation drums on the mine floor. They've been stripped of all their wiring. 钻头，应该是钻石做的吧？长成这样。这是什么 ？Refuge station inaccessible， 进不去。有什么呢？这是什么 ？Crusher 粉碎机 is a high-powered crushing device that breaks down the mining aggregate from the lower chambers. When the pieces are small and light enough, they get shipped up to the sorted chamber on the caviar. R2. The mining drone has been crushed by falling debris. It will never mine again. 这是砖头啊，那谁干呢？看起来比较像是那个机器人，管理机器人。我依然是没有任何自由度，我只能继续往前走。可是这边都没有那个，有到东西可以读。Dream Lalamba Data Log 01. You seem to have scanned a portable data log. It must have got accidentally picked up with the mining aggregate. It apparently belonged to Jim Lamamba. It appears somewhat damaged, but I'm able to pull a fragment from the original audio. Here it is, as best as I can access it. This is Jim Lamamba, resource manager. I tried to help out. That got stuck down here. The two of them, Vistorov and Fisher. Fisher 钓鱼是吧？ As much as I hate them, Admit it, maybe Pierre was right. This place might be where I die. That's where this log ends. It seems to be the first part of a series of recordings.
这些人是怎样，都很喜欢把记录分段的，你们就不能一次把它录完嘛？
That's where the excavation drones brought the blasted habitat and loaded it in automated carts. The air is even further down there.
我应该有自动空气清净的功能吧？
Refuge station.
哦，这不是都说是什么砖头的一部分吗？
That's collection of motor function parts from an excavation drone, or at least the basics. Many small parts have been removed.
哎呀，有金呐！我准备摕金呐，人变超小了。
Blasting chamber.
哎
Looks like some safety caps were left down there when people left.
哎呦，挂了，可怜哦，挂啦。
Take pocket's knife. Let's shed up and enter.
啊，
Looks to be a heavily modified consumer-grade pocket knife. It could probably be used to pry something open. I know, I believe it belonged to Mr. Lamumba. Perhaps you should mention it to him in the Holocene chamber this evening.
拿到一个道具。Hello，
Those remains of excavation supervisor Carlota Victorov and are surprisingly well preserved. She must have sealed herself in that refuge chamber. She's holding onto some crow knots, apparently scrawled on the backs of pages to an emergency manual. This note reads like some kind of last statement. As Cape, she needed energy, kind to get my secret stash of processed stuff to Cape. First in here, without ventilation, air is finite. Fisher tried to rat me out. Took care of it. Don't want to die in this town. But at least this whole nightmare will be over. That's all Supervisor Victorov managed to write. It seems without a clear air supply, I'm afraid she wouldn't have lasted long down here.
好，所以是因为没有空气挂掉的。就是刚说被困在那个了嘛，被困在矿洞里如果他，所以最后还是挂了。那个嘞，那个老蒙巴嘞，他不是说下来救他们吗？
You're in one of the digging chambers, or at least one that didn't completely collapse. Your signal is weak. Please be careful.
没有放强波器，怎么到处都是砖头碎片？
It appears someone removed many of the drone's components. Judging by its condition, it was mercifully
专有名词看不懂，画蒙博啦。
This drone has been heavily excavated for parts and pieces. It looks so helpless here down in that awful place.
所以嬉笑而把这东西乱拆，哎，又有东西可以读了。
Looks like you found a data log. It appears to be the second in the series. I've pulled what audio I can from it. I'll read it for you.
你说 ready 啊，你放出来不就好了？这不是录音档吗 I'm here in the mining caves. I have been for some time. Cave-ins have made return impossible. Victor of her eyes, so afraid, so mad. That fear reminded me to keep going. I'm not giving up. You're full of pity. Maybe your big-headedness is exactly what I need right now. That's all I can recover from this long. 可怜那老人吧。好 ，Fisher， 玛雅 Fisher， 玛雅钓鱼，玛雅钓客。This is geochemist Maya Fisher， 地质学家。It looks like her suit was compromised. It's got several deep slashes throughout. She was likely exposed to the toxic air too long. 暴露在酸性空气太久。哇 The scan revealed an item in her pocket, a replicated ring in a small box. It looked like a simple wedding band. It's of no use to us, but I find it curious. Well, it seems excavation supervisor Victorov and the geochemist Fisher both met their ends down there. What a lonely place to die. Mr. Lamonda's audio file suggested he went down there as well, but apparently he isn't here. See if you can find out what happened to him. 好，那就找 Lamamba， 应该就是在前面那个一开始不让我进去的地方。怎么办？我已经讲话讲到我的那个喉咙有点受不了了。剧情的文本真的超多，而且又是英文。我需要水。Good work. Using the knife to pry open the doors with a small solution, you can enter now. These are parts from one of the colony's drones, specifically energy core casing. The core themselves are missing. That equipment contains the fragment of a data log by the file number. It looks to be the third in the series. I read it. Quake have stopped, and this coughing has held steady. No, not a coughing. I'm getting out of here. Period, you idiots, if you find this. If I don't make it out, I want you to know I'm not giving up. Energy, fuel, that's my specialty. And I've got an idea to help get somebody off this rock, at least. The rest of the log is just background noise, and then it ends. That seems to be the last part of this particular recording. Well, those data files suggest that Mr. Lamumba attempted to escape. I think he probably did. It looks like you discovered as much as you are going to down here. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there is any fuel left for us to process. And now we're left with the mystery of what happened to Mr. Lamumba. But I don't want you hanging around those mines any longer. 我知道我还有这个还没看啊，这是什么啊？急救包。There's an empty emergency kit. It's been completely depleted for both reactions and medical supplies. 虾米都没，好吧。逛完了。 啊，奇怪，为什么我可以进得来，他们出不去啊？
莫名其妙。There was something entirely unwholesome about those caves. There was a moment when I felt my communication link was getting weak. I must admit I was worried, but I didn't want you to lose focus on or panic while you're down there, so I didn't say anything. In any case, you did great. Come back to base and I will process what you found today, and you can relax. 回家，回家。I'm glad to see you made it back unharmed. Please come to the core right away so we can process your findings.
跑哦，跑哦，用力跑哦。
Okay, all the data you collect today is synthesized and ready to be worked on. You did well out there. Since we went to the cave, you will be able to visit Mr. Lamumba in the Holocene chamber tonight. You can retire to your quarters when you are ready. I will call for you when the Holocene chamber is available.
好，晚上又可以玩 VR 喽。It's time, Aniki. The Holocene chamber is ready for you now. Just head in when you're ready. Have a good evening. 耶、我要玩 VR。我爱胜 VR。升 game 啦。
Well, look at you. The AI gave you a bit of info, but it's great to actually meet you. You made it back from the caves, I take it. How did it go?
Great.
Well, of course you say that. You have to. I don't blame you with everything that's going on. Keeping a good attitude is important. You know, I've been thinking the AI has us all working to get that escape ship upgraded and get you both off this damn planet. And I just can't shake that feeling, like all of this could have been avoided, that you're going through this for no good reason. Sometimes even now I get preoccupied, thinking about old arguments or wondering what we could have done differently. Do you ever do that? Do you ever think about what it might have been? Why? I guess I just see another path for all of us and wonder why we aren't there. Why this is what heaven is that. No, I know too well that's the reason we're all in this situation, and I'm saying this as a hologram for Kate's sake. It's because of the rift effect. Despite all of Hudson Cartier's studies, decade of research, all of our info, this planet just ran and threw a wrench in everything. So many died, so many dead. Senselessly so, we had this whole operation running like clockwork. Well, most of the time, but what we are done doing was amazing. Of course, HC 247A isn't the first successful terraforming project, but we were supposed to be the largest and the first with booths on soil from the ghetto. Before, we just had those orbital platforms slowly nuking the planets with greenhouse gases, and then other runs taking care of the rest. But it took decades from more than this project was supposed to take. And as you know, Earth wasn't in a state to wait that long. I don't know, what do you think? Did we do the right things coming up there? Setting up this new project, risking everything?
他好像是那种怀疑类的，我是不是应该就是跟他一起怀疑？We had to. You're right. Of course, we were the best for the job, and this colony was the best of the bunch. 对啊，所以我应该跟他一起怀疑。Even just to build the processing facilities we did in such short time as a real feat of engineering, as was another of Pierce's design, by the way. The director made sure we could process the crystals here from day one, and the drones built everything from the prefab parts we hauled from Earth. But those drones down there in the caves, they were really put to work. We needed them running 24/7 to just keep up. Maybe that's what we missed. Maybe we miscalculated the drones, or just don't bring enough. But listen to me. I could turn this over and over in my head forever, and we just met. So, Angie, let's focus on the present. You must have the info you need, or else you don't have come here. What should we discuss? Your job. Well, the AI probably told you what I was the resource manager, but sure, I can explain it a bit better. I was the person responsible for mapping out how best to use the resources available to any given project. Natural resources mostly. Down to the bean hunters as Hudson Cartier wrote. I was like that. Just a guy putting numbers in columns, making it all add up. But I never saw my job that way. I've always been an explorer. I like to find things, I like to mess around with them too. So figuring out how to mine the crystals on these planets turned into fuel, so we could be self-sufficient. This was a challenge and it satisfied me. I had great staff, though, wonderful people to work with, even though I wasn't fond of having a desk job. They made it worthwhile. Then the reef event affected everything. It put the whole project into chaos, and so many of those good people suffered. But you were down there, weren't you? What did you find? Did you know? Well, this looked to be from me to Peary. I don't sound very well. This doesn't give me confidence in what we'll find next time around. 啊，我选错了，我应该选巴迪耶。好像我应该选巴迪耶。哇，我选他好像选错了，有点糟。My life, you mean before this planet? I guess I have a few adventures to tell of. Why not? Before working with Hudson Cartier, I wasn't crazy about being in an office, you know. Even as a kid, I preferred being outside. There was a group of us when I was younger.
that used to host singing challenges. They were like game shows just for us. Each of us was active, outdoorsy, adventurous, but with various talent. Someone would set that mouth challenge, and the rest would agree to meet it. Like the one time Holly decided we'd have a hang gliding competition. None of us had done that before. We had 3 weeks to prepare. So we all joined classes, or found someone to teach us, or taught each other, and then we met, all on these bluffs outside the city. The goal was to glide the farthest and land safely. Hallie went first. That was the rule. Whoever issued the challenge had to go first. Then we all went in turn. I'll be honest, I didn't prep as much as I should have. Things were different then. Too much time and too little responsibility. It was out having fun. So when I went, I made a big show of it. Like I was going to convince everyone I was the most ready. But boy, I wasn't ready at all, not by a long shot. Out of the 5 of us, I glided the third farthest. But I also did so right into an old barn settlement, broke my leg in 12 places. After that, well, I learned to take things a bit more seriously and to prepare. Well, that's just the memory. I can tell you more about where that comes from. It was actually my brother who gave me that knife. Well, the first version of it. I think I've had it for over 20 years. When one of the tools broke, I had to find tutorials on how to fix or replace them. But I did so poorly and cut myself, I started taking it seriously. My brother said a tool like this was the best kind of friend. If you always kept it close, always looked after it, it will always be there for you. This sure does bring back some memories. Sometimes you think too much and miss the easy solution. Seeing this again. Maybe helping you with the sheep isn't as complicated as I thought. It's about making things simpler, not more convoluted. I think I have some ideas. Thank you, Anki, for bringing it to me. It's given me some inspiration. Listen, Anki, I don't know how much power the AI still has, or how much this visit is using, but just be sure we should probably say goodbye for now. Do me a favor, Lord, won't you? Put my mind to this. Try to find out what happened. I don't want to fade away, thinking we doomed ourselves from the start. I appreciate it. Hopefully, when I see you again, the 4 of us will have made more progress. But until then, stay safe out there. 我跟他的选项好像都选的不太对，不知道这样会不会有影响。还说这游戏的剧情其实没有这么复杂，应该说它的剧情分支上没有做的这么复杂。念英文念到累啊，口干舌燥。可是我又很想要，就是1天之内就把它结束。Day 3，過嚟6點起床。Good morning once again. The hologram seems very motivated. Did you have any enjoyable time at last time? You bet. Excellent. Our decision is our argument. Our effort with the holograms is proving to be the right one. It's a great news. As long as they feel inspired to aid you, I believe they will excel in their work. Please keep this in mind. There are two more areas you can explore to further our goal. Come see me in the core again and you can begin your day.
No no no, I'm going to drink water. 我真的要喝水，受不了了，超累，念这个真的超累。对啊，哦，回来了。喝水之后就好了一点。跑跑跑，向前跑。There are still two more areas I'd like you to check out while we can. Please go out to the shuttle bay to choose your mission for the day. Remember, when you choose an area, you can see which hologram is associated with that area. If that's important to you,我想先去食料区。Mission complete 我还可以去吗？不行。Mission complete 之后就不能再去。This is the main world down in the facility, where the colonists used advanced hydroponics to grow base food and for processing. You can see it from the ground, but the top of the building is like a giant round basin, and was designed to catch the rainfall and collect it. The top layer of the building processes the rain to remove its acidic element and treat it to be portable and suitable for plants. Once you're inside, you should be able to see the various rooms, but my reading seems off. Something not entirely right. Oh. 看看 That's not right. The decontamination chamber you are in should be scanning you and clearing the air of toxins before you enter to protect the operation inside. This doesn't appear to be working correctly. Be careful in there. 系统坏，而除程式了。好，土人蛮好。Let me see. Based on what I am reading, the facility seems to be in quite a state. Remember, we're here to find salvageable plant samples that we can use to keep the food processors running here until we escape. But first, you should find something that would indicate what the crew were dealing with. Try looking for a research note on tables or desks. 所
所以我要找研究记录。Those research note handwritten by multiple people. Things must have been chaotic. Based on this, I can confirm 2 of the crew members. Leslie Farage, 真的很难念。Of course, as the facility manager, she was always on duty, and she would have been here to the very end. Ashley Hansworth, the chef genetic researcher, she and Mrs. Farada had very different point of view. If their personal logs were any indication, meaning that they had argument about aerodrome's procedure and protocol in general many times. Mrs. Faraja 不管，反正我就这样念了 was an excellent leader, though a bit of a reluctant one. She preferred consultation with her subordinate and open discussion. Miss Hansworth, on the other hand, felt that leadership required a stronger hand, and as the situation got worse, their differences became more pronounced. 反正应该是这个研究社是里面的2个最大的主管吧。到处跑。Communal bookshop. There are an assortment of reference texts as well as leisure reading on the shelf. There is also a collection of holotapes. Oh my, they look to be bootleg movies. There are drama, action, and even romance found. All entirely illegal copies that someone must have covertly brought with them or scanned via the interspace net. If the situation was so dire, I would be inclined to note this in my text report to Hudson Cartier Mission Control, but given the circumstances, it hardly seems to be priority. 好哦，看盗版影片，赞。That wall-mounted cot is similar to your own bed. It was made for short-term rest for the colonists who work there. Sometimes longer than normal hours were required, and that break room was used as temporary sleeping quarter often. 好，实验室用的床。又要读一堆东西。Good work! You found something that can help us. According to these notes, a toxin of some kind compromised the whole facility, impacting food growth. There's a detailed analysis on the toxin here. I might be able to use this formula to configure your scanner. Yes, this will work. You should be able to scan whatever plant life you come across now, and determine if it's suitable for processing. We need to find specimens that are at least 60% viable for processing. 好，开始找植物样本，有没有样本？哦，有记录了。哎，快没电啦 ！Good find. That datapad still had some power left, and doesn't seem to be password protected. Let me see if there's anything of use. 插电。It seems to contain a private chat thread between Ashley, the chef genetics researcher, and Arlo, the production supervisor. I'll read it to you. So, you see what I mean? Yeah, it's like she's afraid to make a decision. Exactly. She seems to freeze when things like this happen. I agree that the situation with the toxins need to be dealt with more quickly. Don't be so diplomatic. You're sounding like her. I think we have a huge problem here. She needs to make a decision. The chatbot ends here. It seems like some of Leslie's subordinates didn't agree with her leadership style. 总是会有人对主管不满嘛，也是很正常的。It's a note from horticultural technician Florent Merchant 啊，超难念。Use of the processing machine without my say so is expressly forbidden. Since you keep going around my back, I have password locked. You worrying? Pay attention to my warning next time. 好吧，所以要先看个密码就对了。不是啊，他也没跟我讲密码是什么啊，奇怪。好吧，就要去找密码。找密码，找密码。To the flowers chamber. The flowers chamber. 这是什么 ？Leafy Greens Chamber 2。哦，有一株好的。This is promising. This spinach is generally quite rich in nutrients. Lab modifications have made it exceptionally so. It's been compromised somewhat by the environment, but we can still use some of it. 61% available for processing. 不能用。这个叫做什么 ？Okinawan spinach。Okinawan。哦，看到那个。You've scanned rampion, an ancient earth vegetable. Genetic recently received a strain for its hardness and nutrition. Excellent work. This leafy green is still 75% viable for processing. 好，看一下有没有密码。前面的就不想讲了，反正就是那个人写的。The ceiling tracks were damaged by the sudden growth of vines. Due to damage, auto sprinklers haven't been able to move correctly. This room is probably beyond repair. 啊，就这样，说好的密码呢？说好的密码呢？为什么不跟我讲密码？中间那个花我能不能调查？进去看，可以。There are flowers growing at the base of the vines that appear to either be resistant to the toxins that have invaded the dome or a result of them. Likely they took roots within the filtration and drainage system below and crawled their way up through the grates. 看来是因为植物变种毁了这个地方。毁灭。Well, this is a surprise. This plant is entirely unknown and not one of the varieties commonly grown in the domes. Somehow, it has survived within the toxic environment Your scan shows it's 92% viable for processing. 92%，这么厉害，可是应该不能吃吧 ？This tube feeds water collected on the special roof to the hydroponic system here in the dome. It looks terribly corrupted, though. The water seems heavily saturated with the toxic material that shouldn't be in the system. 已经爆了，都是酸。To the roots and the timbers and 有人挂在这里。Pass through the rubble. It looks like a seismic event collapsed one of the wall here. You may be able to squeeze through though. 哎呦 You've scanned some modified potatoes. 这是 potato. Their rich color comes from the extra vitamins and minerals they carry. It looks like these potatoes were heavily affected by the toxin. They are only 35% viable for processing. 不会啊，我觉得它们看起来长得很好啊，长得这么好，又大又壮。哎，你挂啦？啊 ？Oh, I'm sorry, Andy. You appear to have found the corpse of Arlo Jagger, the production's supervisor. His body is trapped beneath the rubble from that wall. 被砸死了，可怜的，说自己主管坏话的。It looks like he attempted to keep himself alive with the produce in that room, but either the tainted crops got the better of him, or help simply never came. 去看看。有 note 可以看。花花。An unknown species of flowers has sprung up in this hydroponic system. It appears to have mutated from another strain. I'm checking the flowers again to see if these are even viable as a food sources. It appears not. They're too alien for our systems. These flowers are barely 5% viable for processing. 异形花，special ventilation for this room is permanently shut down. Nothing we can do about it. There's an addition. If you two could have stopped bickering, maybe you'd have done your job, and these crops wouldn't have failed. 所以这是失败品。没东西了。Nothing here。回去吧。我还是没有看到密码。The dome is in pretty bad shape. It looks like walls have collapsed and there's a lot of damage around. There were other labs around the other side of that corridor, but you won't be able to access them. We'll just have to focus our effort here. That lentil plant still looks very vibrant. The surface details suggest it's mostly intact. Yes, the scan confirms it. Excellent find. That plant is 89 available for processing. 藤蔓 Those green beans vines were once fast-growing and efficient, but they appear withered and dried out. Unfortunately, this game confesses there are not even 7% available for possessing.
那个浮动值还真大哎，你要么就是70-80%，要么就是不到10%，够抠嘞。Please note, solution tubes are leaking due to faulty cells. New ones are being printed and will be installed. I know it sucks, but I'm packed up with repair requests. 哦，看完了，密码嘞，我还是不知道密码，然后我也没地方去了，只能来乱吃了。Let's do it. 嘿，我刚刚只有看到他有一些字会用大写啊，可是我不知道是不是跟那个他大写的字有关。他的提示其实没有到很明显的，还是我漏掉什么？This 有一个 this， job。哦，this job sucks 吗？真的假的？你的密码这么没有创意吗？真是令我难过。好，大概猜到了。来 ，this job suck。啊，还要空格是不是？It's a processing machine. Colonists would take crops and turn them into raw materials for the food processors and life support systems. However, it looks like it's been reconfigured. Judging by the data, Mr. Farage and their crew were trying to create an herbicide to fight off the invasive vines. It looks like they partly succeeded, but they may have had to abandon the dome before their work was finished. Why? Likely another seismic event forced them out. Someone began an automated procedure here, but didn't collect the results. By activating the machine again, you've confirmed the procedure. According to this, a successful herbicide was made. The machine should dispense it to the slot beside you. That herbicide can be applied directly to vines. Are there any areas where vines are getting in your way? 这可以重复用吗？还是我只能用在一个地方呢
Let's see what happens when you apply the herbicide to those vines. 哎，开了。哎，有一个挂在这里的。Hello, Florent Merchant. I regret to inform you that you've discovered the body of Florent Merchant, horticulture technician. His remains are quite old, and your scan reveals little in how he died. There appears to be severe trauma to his skull that could be from a heavy load or sudden impact if he fell. There is a letter there suggesting he was using it to repair something, but I can't be sure. 当然不知道为什么就挂了。Garden cress. It's specially modified garden cress. This variety is far more nutritious than its natural version. It looks like only that plant survived, but we're in luck. It's 78% viable by processing. 这本过没录。好，所以这边就这样。嘟嘟。那这个可不可以用呢？不行，所以我还是就是开那2个房间而已。走开！哎，马上就有一堆笔记可以看。先看这个。There were flowers that Miss Fraja has growing. She seemed to be using substantial resources purely for aesthetic purpose. A certain percentage of the production time and the materials were dedicated to this for psychological and community purpose. I don't believe this effort, however, was within the allotted amount. Miss Faraja seems to have taken quite an interest in flowers. What is unclear, however, is whether they were ground during normal production or after the toxin set in. Either way, these broken bulbs has been too greatly affected. We cannot use them for our purpose. This broken bulb contained chicory, which was often used as a coffee substitute. The flowers look very healthy. Unfortunately, prolonged exposure to the air and polluted water there means the plant is only 23% viable for processing. Well, you seem to have scanned everything you are going to find in there. There isn't much more we can do. It's unfortunate that the facility is in such poor shape. At least we're able to salvage something for your food supply. This doesn't solve our long-term goal of stocking the escape ship, but at least it stabilizes things while we keep working. When you're ready, head back to the shuttle and plot a course back home. That will be it for today. 好，把最后一个笔记念一念。That printed photograph is faded and damaged, but I can still make out its general image. It appears to be of a breed of canine known as a corgi. Right? The dog is at an early spawn of some kind. Corgis are often used for small-scale herding of animals, such as bovines. Their Something about this dog. Ask her about what you see her.好，所以基本上就是我收的东西够多，然后跟他对话的时候就可以有比较多的资讯。好。We're fortunate to find even a few samples as we did for others. It looks like it is for Darwa, and her staff were scrambling to figure out how to combat the toxin and revive the food system. After the Rift event, so many things fell apart. We're discovering more and more evidence of that. I suppose there's nothing more to be done there. You should get back home and out of that way. 回家。正，很正很正。回来了。这样我剩一个地方要去了。That was a long day, wasn't it? Can't see me right away, so we can get your mission scans set and sorted. Okay, all the data you collect today is things set and ready to be worked on. You did well out there. Since you went to the agro dorms, you will be able to visit with Mrs. Faradwaj in the Holocene chamber tonight. You can retire to your car. 都讲一样的话。不愧是 AI 人工智慧，恭维拢恭修祥啊！其实每个晚上睡觉的那个图是有点不一样的。宠物的话真的是懒得念了。Oh, hello there. It's nice to finally get to meet you. I'm aware of your trip today, at least partly. How did the mission go? No problem. I'm glad to hear it. You seem very capable. Certainly so if you survive this long. I've just been here tending my garden. It's odd that now as I'm well pleased, I guess that I finally get to do what I love. Back in the agro dorms, we were under a lot of pressure. Managing the staff and the operation was so important, but if I'm being honest, it was always the plants that I loved. The process of it, the puzzle of it all, you know? I get you. Really? That's comforting in a way. When you're the director of the operation like that, it's hard to find people who share your passions. When I signed up to come out here, I was thrilled with the idea of cultivating and nurturing an entire ecosystem. I mean, horticulture had a plan, of course. There are stages to terraforming, the ultimate one being, really, the creation of life. Just imagine it. This whole world, green, lush, vibrant, just like ours used to be. The promise of that kept me going every day. All I ever wanted was to work with plants. Do you know what I mean? How so? Well, it's like anything else. It's rewarding to be challenged or to break new grounds. Plants are like that for me. Maybe it's different for you, but the thrill of seeing life grow between your hand, under your feet, is magical for me. Especially since this facility is so cold otherwise. All these prefab halls, building block pieces, everything is in its place. Plants, flowers, trees, you can only impose so much order on them, you know? They soften the edges, reduce the monotony. Well, the others were obsessive with radios or drones or ships. With me, it's always been about plants. When I was little, my family had a small farm, one of the few that were left. By then, agriculture was almost entirely automatic. It was illegal to sell the crops we produced. Too much regulation. Too many companies controlling our food. You probably remember that. So we were only able to feed ourselves, which was also technically illegal. Even everything we grew was nature or as close as we could get. But after my parents died, I couldn't afford to keep the farm. To fend off the legal challenge from the companies who claimed we were stealing patented seeds. And somehow I found my way here. Carson Cartier gave me my labs, gave me farmland, let me set up greenhouses. All of the nations we had here, those were all designed in my lab, tested in my fields. But now all I have in this little garden, and it isn't even real. And I guess nor am I. Oh, Aniki, what are we going to do? Don't panic. You don't know what it's like going between feeling real, alive, and then suddenly realizing you're not. It's terrifying. Listen, let's change the subject. Otherwise, I won't be able to go on. You must have some questions, something you want to talk about. Sure, I can tell you more about the agro domes. Before everything went as good, it was quite the place. You probably only saw the main agricultural dome. That's where all the production took place. It was really something else. Prior to coming here, we had researched on decade the kind of plant we should cultivate. We went through so many trials for suitability, nutrition, efficiency. We couldn't bring meat or animals, they were just too costly and difficult to manage. But the food processors could take plant parts and create so much with them. That technology was headed up by a team that's Pierre appointed. My job was to find the right plants. The ones that could be used for hundreds of different things. We actually lost more seeds than we expected during the space travel here, so in a way, we started behind schedule. Finally, I was able to farm for real, not just to feed myself, but to supply the entire system. I think my parents will have loved it. Yeah, okay. We can talk about that. Although I warn you, I'm better with plants and with people. I think one of the other reasons I love working with plants so much is that their systems I can understand. People are different. The lab work, farming, is all complicated and often hard to predict, but people are just more so. Being the chef of the domus reminded me of that. If I'm being honest, I would have preferred to be in the labs all day, but not managing people. I'm not sure I was the best of it. Well, I know I wasn't, although I can't quite remember why. I guess the AI's version of me isn't as complete as it should be. I don't remember, however. Actually, she was the chef genetics researcher. We didn't always see eye to eye. You know, just before the Rifter event, I recall us having quite a heated argument. She wanted to push ahead with a few string of timber, and I disagreed. 看狗狗. Oh, that's Charlie, my old dog. Wherever did you find this, boy? Do I miss that old corgi? Corgi. Poor Charlie. I don't know how long it's been before I committed to Harrison Park here, and eventually to this, I have to give him up. He was the best. I tried to make him a working dog, but to be honest, he was kind of lazy. I wasn't great at training him. Charlie would sort of pretend to listen to me, but he always had his own agenda. I was a sucker for it. He was just too charming. A scruffy little guy. He's probably, well, gone by now. But the farmer who took him was great to him, I know. Good old Charlie. I'm so glad you brought this to me. It's nice to think about the old farm. It helps me focus. I think I can work even harder on these fixes for your ship now. I can't thank you enough for coming to visit. It doesn't get lonely here, even if it is beautiful. I hope you'll come back again sometime. I understand. In the meantime, I'll be working with the AI to figure out what to do with you around today and get your ship ready for your ship. I'm going to go back to my garden now, I suppose. Good luck, Hamidi. I hope to see you again soon.很难伺候啊，这些人。而且我想换台，主要是念这个真的很累啊。第4天。我要咖啡。I will ensure that your shuttle has a fresh coffee pot ready when you leave. You should come to the core for now, though, so we can get started. Get started. 最后一个。Well, today should be an easy choice. There is only one area left to check for now. However, I've been picking up rumblings of other storms on this way. You can access your ship as usual in the South Shuttle Bay. Please do be careful out there. 冲啊！冲啊！冲啊！这个到底是什么？看来是之后要去发掘真相的时候会去那边。我在想摔下去有没有成就拿？ 到啦 Well, we're finally here, Clony B. I I haven't seen this facility since the rift even blocked off all access. Only with the recent seismic activity has it been possible to come here again, and yet I would very much prefer not to. Unfortunately, coming back is quite necessary. Today, you need to find 4 useful parts for the escape ship's thrusters. Please be careful. 进入殖民地 B. It's dark in there, isn't it? It will be difficult for you to find anything to scan like that. I imagine a lot of the facility won't work without some backup power. 好惨，殖民地 B。这个不能走。马上就找到死，我难过。Server Room Beta。哦，可以接线。Looks like you find the problem in this area. This is power here, but this connection is loose. Are you going to reconnect the power cable? Yes. 开灯啦！为世界带来了光明。好，推出去。There is limited power again in that area. Try looking around now that you can see. 哎，马上就要扫尸体。You've scanned the body of facility supervisor Leon Robertson. It looks like he was crushed by debris. He likely died a mercifully quick death. Mr. Robertson supervised the day-to-day maintenance of Colony under Chef William King. He probably had a tough time keeping that place running smoothly. 被砸死。Check server. 这是什么？ That server rack has been completely eaten away and disabled by the root element, but it looks like someone was trying to modify it somehow. There's a busted portable generator and extra networking equipment in that mess. It's like someone was trying to send a signal. 有人想要送求救信号，是不是？ Check. Good work. You scan up that component to help us repair the escape ship's thrusters. Without this data, the thrusters wouldn't be able to hold a charge for long. Now we only need 3 more thrusters parts and you can get out of there. Some of the data servers are still functioning, as one looks like a master array, but it's inaccessible right now. If you can find an access card that it requires, we can read some of the data there and perhaps uncover some more of what happened. Okay. 所以我要去找卡片。找卡片。Those tubes deliver waste materials that were to be repurposed or stored for reuse in the future. Quite a bit never got recycled.
这边怎么还是锁着？哦，主控制室吧这边。哎，又一个死在地上。Hi. It looks like you've scanned the broken remains of machine operator Samuel Terzi. 太惨了吧 ！Broken remains 是怎样 ？He and his teams maintained the drones. I believe he's been dead since 2058, likely due to the major seismic event that created the rift and led to the collapse of Colombia. 啊，那不就等于他6年前就挂了？ There's a single file data page in his packet. It seems to reference Dr. Pierre Tong. I can pull a tiny bit of audio from it for you. Drone teams no longer functioning. Discord is creeping in everywhere. We're trying so very hard, but without resources, we can't get ahead. The chef is working to exhaustion, but he seems distracted by something. Words of always torn abandoned. Where did he go? 哦，原来是那个维修员，主要维修员跑掉了。这边是暗区，我先去亮区找一下有没有东西可以开，而且我需要那个卡。That storage area has almost completely been reduced to rubble. How terrible! 这是什么 ？You scan a part that we can use for reference in the escape ship's fuel line, so the thrusters don't run out of power. Excellent work. Now we only need 2 more thruster parts, and you can get out of there. 哎，有了，我有 access card 了。It's a worn-looking old server access card. Someone must have dropped it in all the chaos. 哦，那我就可以回去看那个 server 里面的东西了。倒喽，树倒喽。好，先继续往前好了，等下再回来看那个 server。The power conduit has been separated by the seismic activity. You will need to reconnect it to restore power. Are you going to reconnect? Of course. 问这个到底有什么意义？直接接起来不就好？还问我你是不是要接起来？好，有灯了。这也说着主要的那个 server room 服务器房，主要储藏室。Those overflow bins used to contain extra supplies and tools. They've been completely cleaned out, probably quite some time ago. 这是什么 ？You scanned an elaborate set of schematics that somebody drew. It looked like they were drafted by hand, very skillfully too, I might add. It's difficult to ascertain what the shabapata. They are incomplete and very complex. This is only half of this drawing. If I were to hazard a guess, I'd say they pertain to the escape ship. However, if you can find the other half, this could be good news for us. 好，我找到另外半张图。好， 那现在怎么办？我要想办法开这个还锁着的地方，还是我真的要回去看那个 server 啊？哎，这个也开了哦。嗯，维修工作室应该就这个了吧？哎，找到另外半张了。It appears to match the other set you found. There are notes regarding the rusters and field conservation. The draftsmanship really is top notch. It was probably made with just a pencil and a simple straight edge. Even the circular lines are near perfect. Whoever made that is quite skilled. Sometimes human precision and ability really impresses me. When you visit Mr. Tong in the Holocene chamber, I suggest you ask him about this. Perhaps he can help explain them to us. 超精准手绘 Text banner. Of course, it must have belonged to Mr. Robertson. Not to be unkind, but he doesn't need it anymore. Hopefully, he will help you along the way. 好，得到了 Spanner， 攞嚟吧，我也攞嚟吧。电力式，Oh my, those blackened remains belong to mechanical engineer Sasha Kaminsky. If your scan is correct, Mr. Kaminsky was an excellent engineer, though her record mentions several minor accounts of insubordinations toward Lieutenant Sheriff William King. She must have got caught in a severe electrical current when that room was destroyed. What a terrible waste of a good mind. 我电死，所以我也不能踩，是不是？好 ，This panel controls 关，安尼就不会有电啦。哎，关，卖电，卖电，卖电，卖电，真正是卖电。哦，有了，有了，对。It is fortunate for us that the colonists found no need for this scrapped motor. This data can be used for the ship's thrusters. Now we only need one more thruster part and you can get out of here. Oh. Ha? 为什么我的 WiFi 断了？我来开这个。Okay, the server accepted the access card. There are details here that never got sync with me after the Rift event separated the two colonies. Oh no, this log says that 14 colonists were killed on that day alone. I didn't know that. Project leader Puriton was there at the time. You would think with his charisma and position, he would have been able to maintain order. According to maintenance logs, the colony became impossible to maintain very quickly. Several mentioned that Mr. Tan was no longer present. 得到了一些灾难发生后的资讯。看来我们的 Theory Con 有很大的问题了。哎呀，我现在要去哪里？哦，有了有了。Let's see if the spanner you found will work on that door. Okay. 哎，William King 挂在这儿。I'm sorry to say you've scanned the body of maintenance chef William King. Judging by the remains, he sustained several life-threatening injuries. However, the position of the body suggests that somehow he brought himself to that room despite his condition. He must have really wanted to accomplish something. Beside Mr. King, there is a small children's book. This cover depicts an idyllic farm scene in watercolor. In the scene, a girl with a reddish hair is surrounded by several animals. A goat, a pig, and a sheep are lying down, and if they are sleeping. This server rack has a small LED readout that shows a lazy buffalo. Do you want to put the server in the sleep mode? 我把它都关掉可以干嘛？全关之后哦，我要开某些，把一些打开一些关掉，是不是？可是我怎么知道？山羊、猪和羊，嘿，可不可以给点提示呢？不太懂啊。Goat, pig and sheep. Goat, pig 跟 sheep 是哪一个？哦，这是 buffalo。对 ，buffalo 是醒目。这个嘞，这是 cow 也是醒目。这是 goat， 所以 goat 要睡觉。莫名其妙就解开了。Do you hear that? It sounds like a modified distress signal from William King, short and set to repeat. It's difficult to make out, so I will read it to you. Two things are bad here. I'm afraid, not much time now. Hoping you, this over there oxygen is low. You're smart, strong, you're right to leave. Tom is something new, but it's too late, too much is compromised. Goodbye. I'm afraid the transmission cuts off there, and only sounds of rumbling and shouting can be heard. What an unfortunate end for Mr. King. He appears to have used his last moment to contact someone. I wonder if he was successful. Oh, Aniki, take a look. I think the server rack at the south end of the room is open. That 3D stabilization system gives me the reference I need to construct something similar for our ship. It will help keep the thrusters steady.
Okay, you've successfully found everything you need for today. Please, let's not stick around any longer than we have to. You should come out home. Oh, ，I fear that was not the worst of it. There was so much damage and death, but we need to get working on those thrusters. So come back right now, right away. 快12点了呢，游戏怎么这么长？这过场的意义到底在哪？ Excellent work, Aniki. You have been successful at every mission so far. This is really going to help us. Come see me as usual so I can process these findings and plan our next move. 我的手把开始一直狂震。Aniki, do you hear the storm outside? I hear it. Yes, as I've mentioned before, the activity outside is definitely getting worse. The weakening of the planet has caused a violent new storm system to come our way. This wind is just the beginning. You should still be able to have one of your extracurricular meetings, but if I believe your safety is compromised, I will have to shut things down. Since you went to Colony B, you will be able to visit Mr. Tom in the Holocene chamber tonight. But mindful this evening, I will have to see our last remaining room home damaged the way Colony B was. 我现在开始手把一直震，他说风暴要来了，希望撑得住。Honey, please wake up. We may not have much time tonight. I was hesitant to let you to go into the chamber, but the storm has calmed a bit, and I didn't want you to miss out. I know how much this visit means to the hologram, so as long as you don't take too long, you should be okay. But when your meeting is over tonight, please head straight to your quarters. I fear this storm may get worse again in a minute. Stay safe tonight, Aniki. Aniki! Oh, I'm Sully. Hello. 没有想到你会来啊！我今天不是玩魔猎人。又可以 VR 喽。Well, hey there. Oh, Annie, is it? F4B3B told me all about your visit to Colony B today. How are you holding up? Well, thanks. F4B3B is very fortunate to have you. I'm impressed with your resilience. 是这样念吗？ Listen, I hope you can help me out. As I work in here, I realize I have so many gaps in my memory and it's frustrating. You probably know that at some point the real me left Colony B. After that, the AI couldn't keep an updated image of me, so I don't know what I did. I'm worried about what happened. I mean, did I abandon anyone? Is all I can think about. So please, what did you see out there today?
我要选什么好呢 ？Bodies 啊，大哥的英文好赞，还好啊，我其实也是很多不会念的。Damn, I remember what happened when the rift even killed so many people. We were all shocked. I took it badly, I know that. I had drones working to recover bodies for a while. We couldn't really spare the resources, but people wanted that closure. I just don't think I wanted to see them. Everybody we found was like a personal filler, and without our connection to AF4B3B, we couldn't communicate with your facility. We started to feel hopeless. I could tell some of the workers started to think differently about me then. I was just overworked, but I guess we all were. The place was chaos. It was around then that I started to feel that perhaps I wasn't as well equipped for the job as I thought. What else did you see out there today? That is awful. The rift even disrupted most of our facilities all at once. It was a huge struggle to keep things running. We lost dozens of drones and, well, more than a few workers, good people too. Engineers and supervisors. I had to step in to fill the gaps. But there was only so much I could do, you know? I thought people would be able to pick themselves up, move on to stay alive, but not everyone could. Especially me. I was very close to the resource manager, Jim Lamumba, back then. But the destruction affected even our relationships. 这个到底在说什么？就是他们好像是在一个外星球上面建了一个殖民地，然后算是在做一些研究，然后想要改善地球的环境吧。可是他们就是研究过程中出了意外，因为一个叫做 River Event， 就是河事件，然后导致这个星球上所有的殖民地都海料了。现在只剩下我们主角一个人还活着，然后要想办法逃出去，然后要了解当初发生了什么事。那现在看到的这个跟我们讲话的人是这个殖民地最后的 AI 系统模拟出来的当初的工作人员，然后通过跟他的对话去了解一些当初的事情，然后还有一些逃出去需要的知识这样。We had very differing opinions on how to deal with things, you know? And I think our fight is probably a big reason I took off. New subject. Yeah, you're right. Let's not dwell on that. Jing and I, that's old news. Let's talk about something else while we have time. What did you see out there today? Please, the AI seems reluctant to talk about it, and I can't get answers. I just want to know what happened after I left. Dealing with the diseased and the wounded put enough strain on our resources as US. But our connection to AF4B3B was cut as well. 原来如此，我英文不是很好。我其实也是大概看一知半解，就大概懂个70%左右吧，70%到80%。对啊，大概能够理解他想干嘛而已。Admit we had no contact with Colony A, your facility, and after a long while without outside contact, things were dire. 主要是因为这游戏里面会出现一些算是特殊的名词，也算是专有名词的东西吧，那我就不是看的不是很懂。然后现在在讲说，他们当初有2个殖民地，一个是 A， 一个是 B 嘛，然后 B 先出事，然后就跟 A 殖民地失去联系，这样。
I recall sitting in my office one night, the real version of this simulated room. I was completely defeated. But I was supposed to be the director, you know. I had to get it together, put on a good face, so I carried on as best I could.
然后这个人的身份是这整个计划的主导者，所以他现在讲说，他当初就是殖民地 B 出事的时候，他也在殖民地 B， 然后他也逃不出去，他感觉很沮丧，但是他还是必须要控制这个局面。
Being the person that everyone is counting on isn't easy, is it? I mean, you know this now. You're all that's left of this mess. But I'm beginning to see that you're the kind of person who can deal with stress. It's actually kind of comforting. But what if you weren't dealing with all this? Say, back on Earth? Any hobbies, personal likes?
Reading, sports, music， 我觉得就老实选吧。我个人还是比较偏好 reading。你先去睡好啊，拜拜，晚安，晚安。之后玩其他游戏的时候，你再来看吧。这个其实跟我想象有点不一样。我原本以为是那种生存类型的游戏的，想要开来玩玩看，结果没想到是这样子的游戏。还是得咬着牙把它给玩完。
Big reader, are you? That was one of the best ideas we had for the project, stocking the network with thousands and thousands of digital books. Listen, I know our time here is limited, and I've been going on and on, but you coming here to spend time, it means a lot to me, and I appreciate you listening. But there must be something I can actually help you with. Anything you wanted to know more about? You're very focused, I'll give you that, sure. I can tell you a little more about this ship. There were only 2 ships in the project, one in each colony. We couldn't bring more with us. They were complex, delicate, and cumbersome. When the rift even
不是核计划，裂缝计划，拍谁？可是已经来不及了。
When the rift events tore our colony apart, the first things I checked was the escape ship. It was a complete loss. I was horrified. Some of the colonists thought we should be putting resources and drones toward building more escape ships after we were up and running smoothly. I could understand that, but we couldn't afford it. It took everything just to process the planet's resources and run the terraforming operation. The escape ships weren't meant as large-scale lifeboat. They could only fit a few people, but that's more than enough for you and the AI. You're going to succeed, Anigi. I just know it, and I promise you I will do everything I can to help you. It's asleep now, isn't it? I almost feel bad talking about it behind his back, but I can tell you more, sure. I didn't design the AI. That was another engineer back on Earth. But I sure can to enjoy its company and insights once we arrive here. The neat thing about A4B-3B is that it is so powerful. Given the resources, it can be paying attention to almost everyone on the colony at once. It's like everyone had a friend at their side. Though I guess not everyone saw it that way. Some colonists never gel with AI. I think part of the reason was that we didn't give it a more human name. It ended up being less relatable than House and Cartier hoped. Come to think of it, I can't even remember what its name means anymore. Most people just gave it their own nickname, and it didn't seem to mind. We're all stuck in here. Just having the AI with you out there must be some comfort, at least. The combination ship is important. What are these schematics? I seem to recall something I was working on, but not clearly. Let's see. These are definitely mine, but if I had access to network systems, I would have used them. Why would I have him draw this? Unless I may have drawn this up after the Rift event. They look like they're for a new way to reduce fuel usage in the thrusters or takeoff. I'd like to believe I was still trying to help out the survivors. I don't want to think that I just gave up on them. More importantly, though, you might be able to use this yourself. If you find any more schematics like this, please bring them to me. Well, listen, it's late, and you shouldn't eat up too many of these facility cycles on this visit. You need to get back out there tomorrow. Honey, I thank you for stopping by. I hope I'm able to provide some insight into what happened. If you can, Bob. I must have tried to help people out. I have to believe that. If you find any more schematics proof that I tried to help, please let me know. That's what I like to hear. Until next time, I will be waiting. Oh, 回来了。邓来。11点半了，11点半。越来越破烂。第5天啦 ，Day 5。这 Day 5的画质，那个不是像素风，莫名其妙。画面可以不要这样闪白光吗？不太舒服。阿尼基 wake up! I hate to be the bearer of bad news so early, but it appears we have a problem. I'm afraid so. The storm I detected came directly our way, and it's going to affect our efforts. The clone suffered some damage. You probably heard quite a ding. Colony A is mostly intact, but it was a close call. I'm afraid you won't be able to set out anywhere today. It's just too dangerous outside, and I need your help here. We need to make sure our equipment is still operational. Please come with me. As you can see, the place is it's a real mess. You're lucky that your room was uncached. In any case, I've unlocked the ship hangar. I need you to go in and make sure the ship is okay. You can ship hangar. Okay, the hangar doesn't seem too bad. I hope the ship is alright. Check. The thruster casings appear to be intact. The booster shells look undisturbed as well. I don't detect any loose components. Oh, that's good. The escape ship appears to be okay. That's such a relief. Next, let's make sure the shuttle is still functioning. Leave the hangar and go out to expand the shuttle. 他不是说很危险，还是叫我到处跑，真正是。Check. Okay, Let's see what we have here. Nothing impacted the shuttle itself, and the bay looks on. Great, okay. The shuttle is still functional. We can send you out on missions again later. Now, let's just confirm that the holocene chamber hasn't taken any damage. Head to the chamber just outside there, please. 工具 Check. Well, it's still in standby mode. My own connection suggests no degradation or loss of data. Everything else checks out too. That's a relief. We managed to make it through this quite unscathed. We should be thankful. Still, the storm is still out there, and we can't go anywhere today. You might as well head back to your quarters. 感觉 flag 插得很深呢、好，进去，可恶！Anigi, are you okay? I have some news for you. You must have been exhausted. You fell asleep and I have been here all day. I'm sure you needed it, so I didn't bother you. I completed all my internal system checks. Thankfully, the colony is intact for now. We should be able to get you out there again tomorrow, but I know today has been a particularly stressful day, and, well, I was hoping to do this another time, but considering today's event, I just couldn't wait. For what? For my surprise, of course, and since you couldn't go out today, what better time? You see, I noticed how much more at ease you've been since getting to spend time with the hologram recreations. And to be honest, they also seem to benefit from the interaction you've been having, even though they're merely simulations. So, I've prepared a special program for you inside the holocene chamber, something purely extraordinary. Thank you. You're very welcome, Anigi. I thought you deserve a little time off. With whom would you like to spend time in the holocene chamber tonight? 我觉得还是 Winnie 吧。Okay, I'll talk to Winnie and make sure she's available. I'm sure she's looking forward to it. 哦，所以最后要结束，也不知道结束啊，就是这一段可以选一个人就对了。看来是多重结局啊。I'll have to enter low power mode so you can use the chamber, of course. So I'll speak to you again in the morning. Have fun in there, Anigi. I hope you enjoy this little bit of downtime. Isn't it beautiful? This is a recreation of the aurora borealis from the northern hemisphere back home, the northern lights. 哦，这样是极光哦。你不讲话真的是看不出来。The AI must have found this in one of the holocene relaxation archives. I think it was one of the programs used to help us adjust to cloning life. What do you think of? I'm glad you think so. When you're hooked up in the cloning, being able to look up at such a wonderful best site really is a treat. The neat thing about the light is they were just a happy accident. Gas particles from the Earth mixed with charged particles from the sun and voila. It's like somebody created the most beautiful painting by spilling something, you know? I think that's what makes it so wonderful. Anyway, I could go on and on, but we have some time now. just to ourselves. I don't want to spoil it. What's on your mind? Well, yeah, there is one thing. Listen, I'm sorry to ask this, but the AI told me about you finding William, over in Carnaby. Yeah, well, if you don't mind, I just want to ask you something. William, he was pretty special, and it's just that hearing about his death was pretty hard to take. We kept in touch when we could, I guess. We kind of had an understanding. I found it easier to talk to him than some of the other colonists. It was hard to make friends sometimes, and he was such a good listener, kind of like you, I guess. But, you know, he and his wife, back on Earth, remember? And so, well, I couldn't, we're just friends. I guess, I guess I just want to know what you find. The AI said he had been trying to send a message. Did he say anything?
不好意思啊，我还是得讲实话。
I, I see. That makes sense. The AI said it didn't understand his message. I guess it was kind of lost. I guess we'll never know. Okay, I'm sorry to make you answer that. I just had to know, so I could put it behind me. Please, let's not talk about William anymore. We may not have much time, Let's just keep focus on the present. Is there anything else you want to talk about? You are? You mean about getting off the planet? We can talk about that if you like. If it will help. What are you worried about the most? Yeah, I can understand that, but one thing you have going for you is that the AI seems pretty intent on making sure you succeed out there. Without certain systems or supplies, it would be difficult, I get that. But I guess what's important to remember is not to just think about your physical needs. Mentally, things are probably taught. But you can't give up, Believe me, I know it's hard, and I definitely don't think I'm as strong as you. But I guess you you need something to live for, maybe, Something to remember when things get tough. Do you have something like that?
I think so.
That's great. I'm sure it will help when you're out there doing whatever the AI needs you to do. Just keep that in mind when you get discouraged,
开始给我灌心灵鸡汤。
Oh, well, I guess I'm okay, all things considered. The AI has kept me busy, so this little break certainly is nice. To be honest, I have been thinking a lot. More than usual. I know I asked you to help me try to understand what happened to me, and I still want to know, but I guess the more time I spend here, the less this seems to matter. I realize that as much as I want to fill in those memories, I don't have, I like the fact that I'm making new memories too. And I know that I have a job to do. I'm here to help you succeed and to survive. But after we met this time, I couldn't help but think, I guess what I'm trying to say is it's nice just to spend time like this. It sure is. I am glad you think so too. You know, see these simulations, I mean, this is so beautiful. But haven't you noticed? It's not even code. I guess when these programs were designed, they weren't meant to be completely realistic. If you ended up cold or uncomfortable, why would you use it? Still, I feel it's sort of part of the package. There are the northern lights after all, and it is meant to be quite cold out there. I do have one another thing I wanted to mention. The AI prepared this spatial simulation tonight, and well, it's beautiful, of course. I guess I just wanted to know, you could have chosen anyone tonight, right? And well, why me? I like it. I see. Thank you for saying so. I like spending time with you too. Well, Annie, I had to admit it, but I guess I should let you get to sleep. There's still a long journey ahead of you. Thanks for coming to visit, and well, thanks for talking to me about William. Until next time, I guess please be careful out there. Thank you. You're so polite. Take care for now. 不是，你这剧情比我想象中长很多呢。我只是想看个结局。我看个结局有这么困难吗？不行，我受不了了。等下睡觉起来还没有结局，我真的要关台了。累，累爆。第6天。Well, Annie, what did you think of that spatial simulation last night? What a week! That is wonderful to hear. I thought you could use a pick me up after the stress out last week. In any case, a week has already passed, and as the increasing storm activity has shown, our situation remains difficult. We still have a lot of work to do. Come see me in the course so we can get started once again. 好，我来看一下接下来要干嘛。如果真的很烦的话，我就不玩了，我就先存档结束了。金价动不掉，动不掉啦。With a week already gone, we need to step things up a bit. The recent storm has me worried. The hologram have made some progress with the escape ship, but it just isn't ready yet. I'm afraid I'm going to have to send you out again this week. There are some resources we badly need. We can access the medical wing of Colony B, which might let us get some necessary medical supplies. You can also head to Tower E of the comms relay, where we can try to send a distress signal deep into space. Another facility of the Aqua Domus is open. We need to head there to find a way to extend your food supply. And you can also reach the caves refinery right now. It's imperative that we find more fuel for the ship faster. As always, the choice is yours. You can plot a course to any one of these locales from the shuttle bay. 真的假的？哇，这游戏比我想象中还要长很多啊！
受不了，真的是受不了，游戏好长。先这样吧，2%，哇，奖杯太多了吧？我看一下有什么奖杯。Make it through the second week, finish the third week。啊，总共有3个礼拜，天哪！然后每个地点有那个故事要集满，然后这是什么 ？Reveal the full story of the bittersweet romance. Impress your companion with your knowledge of weather. 丢面包的脸。You like it so far? I apologize for talking. Discover a movement of 好像都是一些就是那种找地图的东西吧。Spend all 3 spatial simulations with one person and let them know you care. 啊 ？Call me to your final over. 果然就是分歧结局，不出我所料，全角色分歧结局。这游戏好长，我以为这是一个简短的看剧情，出乎我意料的长啊，这玩意儿。好啦，先这样了。哇，所以我才玩这游戏1/3啊。拜拜啊。